Bonjour et bienvenue à Rendez Vous avec Yasmin.
And Kumar, since it's our first episode for 2026, bonne année.
Happy New Year and cheers to more episodes of Rendez Vous with us.
We start the year 2026 with a special episode celebrating 400th anniversary of the French Navy.
The history of the French naval power goes back to the Middle Ages, but its history can be effectively said to begin with the Edict of October in 1626, and this created a permanent navy to serve France with a unified command under Cardinal Richelieu during the reign of King Louis XIII. The French Navy is one of the oldest navies still in continuous service. It has taken part in key events in French history, including the Napoleonic Wars and both World Wars, and played a critical role in establishing and securing the French colonial empire for over 400 years.
While France is celebrating the 400th anniversary of the French Navy, it's almost 400 years since the first French naval expedition to Ceylon. And isn't that a very interesting coincidence?
The first French naval expedition arrived in Ceylon in 1672 under the command of Admiral de la Haye. They chose the Bay of Trincomalee and fortified two islands. One was named Ile du Soleil, and their occupation lasted 100 days before coming under attack by the Dutch. A century later, in 1782, a second French naval expedition, headed by Admiral Suffren, seized Trincomalee. This time, the Dutch were French allies, and together they made the British surrender. In 1783, after the Treaty of Versailles, the French ceded Trincomalee to the Dutch once again until 1795, when the British defeated the Dutch. They took over Trincomalee and renamed the fort as Fort Frederick, a name which has remained even to this day.
And coming back to 2026, let's now talk to French Lieutenant Commander Florian Bouvenot.
I'm reminded of the extraordinary continuity of a nation which has been present at sea for more than 4 centuries now. And this extraordinary milestone is not only our history, but it is reflecting as well the ability of sailors to spend part of their lives at sea trying to build partnerships and enhancing international stability. In Sri Lanka, marking the 400th anniversary of the French Navy is about celebrating the ties between our nations, ties which have been deepened recently by the creation of a regional center for maritime studies just there in Colombo. And it's about celebrating of all of our sailors who are committing their lives at sea to protect the oceans and strengthen bilateral relationships.
Will France and Sri Lanka proudly cooperate through initiatives such as the Regional Center for Maritime Studies, which opened in Colombo in 2024 to enhance regional maritime security and safety? And will capacity building be in the mission of the Regional Center for Maritime Studies and how it can help the countries in the Indian Ocean?
Capacity building is actually trying to improve the way people can act and intervene on the maritime domain and not intervening in their place. So the idea is that the countries are empowered and that have a better way of handling by themselves the issues that are at hand. In the Indian Ocean, you have a number of issues that arise in the region, whether it's maritime pollution, marine pollution, whether it's IUU fishing, so illegal fishing, a number of other difficulties that can arise. The idea with this capacity building is make sure that the administrations of the countries of the Indian Ocean have the capability of responding to all those difficulties and to all those issues that arise in the region, and are properly able to respond to them without needing someone else to intervene in their stead. So the idea of the center is actually to deliver courses and training programs and make sure that Indian Ocean countries have within the region, because the center is based in Colombo, an opportunity to obtain this training.
We can raise awareness through science, culture and the arts, including cinema. In this spirit and keeping in line with the Year of the Sea and France celebrating the 400th anniversary of the French Navy, the French Embassy hosted an evening of the film The Wolf's Call, directed by Antoine Baudry.
We were very pleased to have the screening of The Wolf's Call tonight at PVR. It's an example of the cooperation we have here in Sri Lanka on the cinema. The Wolf's Call is about a navy life on board on submarines and the responsibility of the commanding chain on the submarine. And we will celebrate the 400th anniversary of the French National Navy. And to us, it appeared very important to have the screening of this very good thriller.
French movie, The Wolf Calls, which is really giving an image of what operating at sea might be. This is not only about being on a ship, but it is about human dimension, trust between crews and nations, and how to handle human pressure at sea.
The film was very interesting and very nice. I spent a very good time to this place.
Fantastic movie, great special effects. You just felt the tension of being that far down in the ocean and what these sailors go through in a war situation. I thought it was a fantastic experience, and if I may say it, very immersive.
Well, I think being an ex-Navy guy, I could really feel back at sea, but the movie was very well done and it looks so real. Although it's a movie, but you really feel that it's a real thing. And it brings out many lessons for the future, right? One day, because of deception, we could be fighting each other. So this is the danger. And the procedures, the protocols are there, but then the human judgment is important. So that is something which is there in the movie throughout, how the human judgment can matter in a life and death situation, preventing war or peace. Brilliant movie, well done.
Very intense and emotional and powerful drama.
Pour utiliser une expression un peu triviale, je dirais ça prend aux tripes.
It's a very powerful and very intense film about how the war heroes, how they really throw themselves and protect the country. They never think about themselves, but they think about the nation as a whole.
Merci de votre attention.
Nous vous souhaitons une excellente année 2026.
À la prochaine.